Have you ever noticed someone struggling in silence, hidden in plain sight? I'm not one for the spotlight, never have been. I'm just the janitor, the guy who cleans up after everyone else goes home, the one who makes sure the floors are shiny, the trash cans are empty, and the offices are ready for another day of whatever it is they do up there. But over the years, I've learned that there's more to this job than just mopping floors and taking out the trash. It all started one evening late one. I was pushing my cart down the hallway, the wheels squeaking against the tile as I made my way to the intern bullpen. Usually, by that hour, the place is a ghost town, just me and the hum of the fluorescent lights. But that night, I wasn't alone. She was there, hunched over her desk, fingers tapping away at her keyboard like she was fighting against the clock. Her face was pale, eyes ringed with dark circles, and there was a tension in her posture that made me pause. I'd seen her before, of course, a new face in the sea of interns that come and go every few months, usually too buried in their work to notice a guy like me. But she noticed me that night. She looked up, her eyes meeting mine, and in that brief moment, I saw it, the weariness, the frustration, the fear. It wasn't just the workload. Something deeper was gnawing at her. I didn't say anything then, just nodded and went about my business, but I kept an eye on her after that. Night after night, she was there, always the last one to leave. I'd find her desk littered with empty coffee cups and crumpled up papers, her face etched with worry lines that no young person should have. So, I started doing little things, small acts that might have seemed like nothing to anyone else. I'd leave her a fresh cup of coffee when I saw her eyes drooping. I'd tidy up her desk when she wasn't looking, putting the papers in neat stacks so she wouldn't feel so overwhelmed. I'd even started taking a longer route with my cart so I could pass by her desk more often, just to check in. Eventually, she started talking to me. It was just small talk at first. How's your night going? Here, and thanks for the coffee, there. But over time, the words became heavier, like they were weighing on her, desperate to be spoken. She told me about her job, how she'd landed this internship thinking it would be a dream come true, a stepping stone to her future. But the reality was something else. The workload was crushing, the expectations impossible, and the environment, well, toxic didn't even begin to cover it. Her supervisor was a bully, the kind who thrived on belittling others to make themselves feel important. The pressure was eating her alive, but she felt trapped, too afraid to speak up, too afraid to leave. I listened, mostly, just let her vent. But I also started slipping in a few words of my own, offering advice where I could. I told her about the time I stood up to a boss who'd pushed me too far, how I'd found another job even when I thought I couldn't. I shared stories of resilience, of finding strength in unexpected places. I could see her listening, really listening, and over time, the lines on her face softened, the darkness in her eyes lifted, if only just a little. One night, she didn't stay late. When I got to her desk, it was empty, the lights turned off, her things neatly packed away. I figured she'd finally taken my advice and gone home early, maybe to catch up on some much-needed sleep. But she didn't come in the next night either, or the night after that. I started to worry, wondering if she'd been pushed out or if something had happened. Then, about a week later, I found a note on my cart. It was from her. She thanked me for everything, for the coffee, the clean desk, the conversations. She told me that she'd finally decided to speak up, to stand her ground. She'd gone to HR, laid it all out, and was offered a position in a different department, one where she felt valued and respected. She'd also decided to cut back on the late nights, to find a better balance between work and life. It wasn't much, just a note, but it meant the world to me. I kept it, tucked away in my pocket, a reminder that sometimes, even the smallest acts of kindness can make the biggest difference. And you know what? I still see her around sometimes, smiling, confident, standing tall. She always gives me a nod, and I nod back, like we share a secret that no one else knows. Because in the end, it's not about the floors I clean or the trash I take out. It's about the people, the lives I touch in ways they might never fully realize. And that, well, that's what makes this job worth it. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching.